Hey everyone, welcome back to the Cult of Larry Draft League Season 4, Week 4 Initiate Division Review. It's from Helix and Kelpo.
Hello.
Little happier this week. No, we had one drop, or we got everybody replaced, and the games were played on time, and a game was played early, and a makeup game was played. So it's kind of a crazy week here.
Yes, we had 9 games this week. Although we did not consider the week 5 game for this review. We will be
Yeah,
saving that for next week if we decide to cover it.
yeah, if we decide to cover it, who knows? Okay. Again, guys are doing great, keeping all your games played. Love watching them, and the commentary, you guys jumping in games and chatting, it's cracking me up. So we'll just continue with our normal formula and just jump right into the first game here. Kelpo, you want to take it away?
Yeah. So I believe that you made the remark of you see Slow King and Melmetal on the same team, and you're instantly on high alert for Trick Room. Which I think is fair, but for me, I guess when I looked at this team, it is a very fast team. You have these weren't brought, but you have the Hisuian Electrode, you have Chiyu, Latias, Mega Lopunny. Like, it's a very fast team, and outside of maybe like it's really just Melmetal, I think, as far as offensive threats go. Maybe the Terracizor can work in Trick Room if you're I don't know, maybe if you like room service it or something. But anyway, point is, I would not have prepped for Trick Room for this match. I might have kept it in the back of my head, but yeah, the rest of the team is so fast that it was a surprise to me to see. And some very standard brings on Hysterically's side. I think we mentioned that it's a very top heavy team in
Yeah,
terms of the most powerful things on it.
I agree. Yeah, I just know Melmetal with a Slowbro gang is usually a big Trick Room teleport combination is super strong. I will say though, with Slowbro, it's decent at a counter if if anything exists to Terra Steel, Melmetal, which it don't really exist for it. You almost need Protect to wear out those double Iron Bashes, or Pressure is really the most efficient way to do it. It's just very difficult, especially if you don't have the Mons. So let's hop in this one here, because I think there's some kind of funny stuff that happens that I was not expecting when I watched this game the first time. Classic.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised there wasn't a helmet on the Slowbro, especially into a Lopunny, and a double Iron Basher.
Yeah, I was surprised too. Oh, it's the teleport duo. Chilly Reception. Teleport. Yep. Slow.
Yeah, Hysterically's team has a lot of pivots on it. I think
Yes.
I think 5 out of the 6 that he brought this week can swap out very easy with pivots.
I mean, I would love to know the calcs, but 56% to what I'm assuming is a fully defensive slot.
Is a max defense? Yeah, that's crazy.
It's unhealthy. It's so scary. And I always forget it makes you flinch. And
yep, you gotta give.
There goes the duck.
Yeah, Chiyu is suddenly way scarier. As is. Actually, I don't know if the Swallow's physical or special, but potentially great special attackers.
I don't know. I would assume special, but I don't know. Man, Bug Buzz does still a good amount of damage.
Moth is very scary.
Yeah, especially with the special attack boost. Iron defense. It's the first time I've ever seen Iron defense. Sandy Shocks, but it it does a lot here.
It just drank that. This was such a cool set. I haven't seen it, but I also don't know much about Sandy Shocks.
I just
So
think of it as a hazard bot and then a very strong volt switch and earth power. I think it's like 130 at special attack.
Yeah, so there suddenly isn't really a switch into the Sandy Shocks because again you had to give Porygon to the very very fair and balanced Melmetal that was I think that was just like I don't think anyone picked it up in this division.
I mean it's a monster. It's not the easiest thing to get in all the time, but it's just so much. I mean, this is just crazy how well it does. I would not have. I mean, I know Legnaton is very good and can be useful, but this is probably the most work I've ever seen it do in a game. It's iron defense. It's good and speed. I mean, it was crazy. It was a great bring.
Yeah, I mean, I was a little surprised because obviously the body press came out expecting a Terra on the Jolteon because the Garchomp didn't.
Right.
Which if that didn't happen, I actually think it was just a 5-0 and the Sandy Shocks cleaned up. But I guess it was weird.
Way, isn't it? Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it's done. The momentum that led to the Melmetal coming in just completely broke the game open. There wasn't a ton that Hysterically could do after a certain point. It was just the first turns had to be played close to perfect if you wanted to keep the Melmetal out without breaking the team. I'm a little surprised that Skarmory wasn't here. I understand having Slowbro as your bash switch in, and I don't even know if Skarmory, like how much better, if at all, it would have taken it. But I think, just having that over the sounds really good for so many things on that team. So I don't know. It was a tough spot.
Yeah, I mean Terra Melmetal doesn't really have a switch in. The only thing that you have I guess it was probably Skarm is good because it can just roost, or I'm surprised Slowbro not have. Slowbro took too much. It could have maybe slacked off, but I think that's why you have to go helmet frequently to knock, taking at least 14 twice or whatever, 16% twice is pretty big when you click and someone's just clicking slack off or roost on you. But it's tough. If you didn't bring that because you were expecting, you couldn't fit it on. It's the one thing Skarmory can almost always fit it on because you just go. In this case, you're here for 2 Mons in general, but it happens. Sometimes you think what you have is going to work and it doesn't. But Wiki Will, really well played. Good first game to watch. That's a scary 6, especially you never know. Because I'm pretty sure this is other Terra, isn't it? Might be.
It's actually not.
That might be too many points, yeah. This is 14 or 15, maybe 16.
The Terras for that team are Scizor, Hisuian Electrode, and Runerigus.
Gotcha. Wait, what? Oh, did he change them?
Why not?
Which Terra? It's Scizor, not Melmetal?
What?
Hold on.
So, fun fact: the document doesn't have their updated team.
I thought we updated it.
I thought we had too.
Sometimes docs is a little weird. We definitely had updated it because it's here.
It was in the correct channel, and I swore we put it in.
Maybe we didn't. Maybe, I don't know. We'll update it. We'll update it after, or they can watch us update it in live. All right. Next we have the other newcomer, Akboss here. versus this Fuego? Isn't
Uh,
it?
ye- yes, that is Mount Moon Umbreon's is Fuego.
Oh, okay. All right. Man, that's some solid offense. And then there's Snooky. All right, let's see how this one goes. Tough lead there for Fuego. I love that. That makes this
Yeah,
incredibly scary.
you gotta love it.
So I know. Oh, he clicked Headlong Rush. Did you not have close combat? Because that's my question. It seems like close combat's definitely killing Extra Drill, 100%. It's killing Samurott. It's taking a huge chunk out of Tauros, and it's doing at least half, if not more, to Orthworm. So I'm confused why. I get Headlong Rush is obviously best if Screamtail went out, but this is a free swap on it. You didn't get a chance. It was a very predictable play. Maybe he didn't have it. Maybe he didn't have close combat.
Maybe not.
The bold bulk up here. Whew, Bull punched us so much though. Doing what Screamtail does.
Yeah, the issue with the Calm Mind here is it lets. I was actually gonna say it would let in Excadrill, but I mean Venusaur likes it too. I wonder. It just feels like you lose so much momentum when you start Calm Minding when the offensive checks to it are still up.
Fully healthy.
And this is something that I see quite often is you like because you have this idea of your end game, right, and what you want to be winning the game with, and I feel like a lot of the time people will sort of jump the gun with it and try and win the game too early.
Yeah, I agree. Barely
So
hanging on.
yeah, I mean it takes it and it
What I should understand is you have Kilo with Hurricane, and you have maybe Zen Headbutt Metacham.
they may not have brought it.
Which, see, in my opinion, I find that very odd if you know they've got a Mega Venusaur on the other team.
Yeah, Tauros as well. It definitely seems like a pretty good bring here.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Mega Medi gets Poison Jab too, which is just infinitely better than Bullet Punch against the Screamtail. If that's why you brought it, was just that, seems odd. Screen goes off, it crits.
Yeah, there isn't really. Most of Fuego's team really likes switching in on steel moves, so it definitely a weird choice there. Unfortunate miss, but I'm
not sure it did much.
I don't think it would have mattered. Unless you were fishing for confusion, in which case maybe.
Whew.
Yeah, it does a lot when it gets turns to set up. I never see Excadrill.
I think Excadrill just flat out won there, unless he knew the speed was less than max speed. You probably, but no idea. Ceaseless Edge, probably unnecessary, but. Not a bad thing considering the Sylveon's still there for the wish.
Yeah, so this bundle is
nice Terra.
Yeah, it still, I think I mean if you didn't Terra there, I think the game was just over. Bundle is so scary, and you just don't have it definitely was carrying freeze dry. I don't know of a set where it doesn't.
Yeah, and it's okay. You might, if it's something odd like a really frail water or something where you can just run ice beam hydro pump, then like sub on course, some shenanigans like that. But this is a nice Tauros set here if we go to pick it up. I didn't expect that at all. But Ekboss with a couple odd brangs. Obviously we don't check your post game chat or your sets you send, so I was just wondering why there was no poison jab here when this is an obvious 4 times resist to your best stab, and your other stab is 2. Bullet punch, just based on the team, I'd have to go check the rosters and see if there's something else that was 4, but it seems silly. And then no close combat is what it looks like. Seems like quite the glaring miss when there's an Orthworm on the other side.
Yeah, and I will say, this, I think Bundle definitely could have 6'd this team if it was, and again, hindsight, but I feel like Specs Bundle instead of the booster energy was much better here.
Gotta hit a hydro. You gotta hit all your hydro pumps, which let me tell you.
You do have to hit your hydro pumps.
15% to lie. It's like 60% miss. It feels like.
But I mean, I feel like if you got chip on Venusaur and then you just started pressing hydro pump, there just wasn't much that was going to be done. No, because Cradle, even if you brought Cradle, even if Fuego brought Cradle, there's still an Ice Beam and a Freeze Dry that you don't want to switch into. So I think Specs Bundle was the choice here, but
it always is. It always is.
Yeah, I understand the temptation to outspeed all the Scarfers, so I get it.
For my personal thing, I know it can be great to get it in and clean, but I feel like if you're going booster energy, it's so much better when you have a mon like Legnaton or Sandy Shocks in this case, where you get to click a setup move or a stat boost. That's why Valiant. It's Valiant's scariest set is booster Swords Dance, or in my opinion, or booster Call Mine at the end, where you've got a free boost and it's really hard to then take it down. But I think for mons like Bundle, Scarf, and Specs are the way to go. But that's just my opinion. In the next game, we have Ultra Pro Star versus Zach. I hope it's Air Balloon. Rotom fan here.
Yeah, I will say, I believe that the Terra swaps were. Yeah, I think they were long enough ago that the new Terras are in. So this could be a Terra Braviary or a Terra Zoroark, but not Iron Treads. And so I wonder how that will play into this match, if at all.
Let's see. This is probably the best game of the week, I think. Oof! Hacks.
This one was a highlight.
Hacks.
Yeah, so either that was max speed, Volcarona, and it's a Scarf, because I don't think any set of Urshifu doesn't kill there.
Yeah.
But I also don't think you stay in unless you know you're faster. So, I mean, standard Zamazenta things.
Whirlpool. It's a nice tech.
A little surprised there wasn't a swap to Clefable or Rotom there.
Yeah, I would have thought so too. Can't rest in the terrain.
Also, yeah, that was. Yeah.
Oof.
That was a knowledge check.
Looking rough.
It is. Yeah, Ultra's in a very good position right now.
Yeah. I mean, he's having to just take a random guess at things here to try to chip because he doesn't have many swaps. The swap out, even with the drop, I feel like probably would. I mean, I don't know if he didn't have Ice Spinner or something.
So here's my question: Why did Zoroark not get brought in on that Shadow Ball?
Yeah.
You know it's the only coverage he has for your treads. Like this is what I'm talking about. I think I mentioned it in one of the other videos with like, you know, making a proactive switch instead of just taking the safe option. Like
I think the fan, honestly, for being a luxury, it got a decent amount of chip down on some things here. Not bad.
well, it did because again, like there I don't know what the fear was of going into of Zoroark right there.
Well, what from Zelda
Like
is Yunobo? I don't remember that one.
I don't play Zelda games. I know, Sumi.
Everything
I
else
just
is Zelda, but I don't know what this one is. All right. Well, I mean, ProStar's in a great spot here. Terra
yeah,
Fairy, okay. It's good.
he's still in a good spot, and there's still, you know, like there isn't a ton. It doesn't look like. I mean, so you know, you pick off the Tapu Fini. You know that's yeah. I think at this point the way he's playing it, you know, it's scarfed.
Mm-hmm.
So you know the Clefable easy
Hey,
switch in. That was a good read.
that was a good read.
Um,
And hey, you hit it too.
also
Oh.
very important.
This is also nice. He just decides to stay in and not let him set up because Braviary Sui can. Oh, not Braviary Sui. We find
It
out
was not a.
It's gonna do a lot. Zoroark has no bulk. Yeah.
I'm curious why we were seeing Bitter Malice and not Shadow Ball.
No clue. Maybe he
There
wanted
didn't-
it for the bee or something. Flare Blitz. Say poison jab. Man, bee does a lot of damage with adaptability.
It does. Yeah, you have to. You give it here, which is fine.
41 on the swap. That's tough. I mean, this is clearly. Is it specs? It hasn't changed its move, so I don't know. And I think you would have gone Dark Pulse first. Okay, it has to be. I'm assuming it's Scarf.
Well,
Yeah,
the
it's
Urshifu
Scarf.
was 100% Scarf. Yeah,
So Scarf.
No, there was the way that Urshifu was being played was 100% Scarfed, and I think the first turn. I think based on how the other terms, yeah, I think because again, why would you leave your Volcarona in on the Urshifu if you weren't max speed?
No, I agree. Hey, great comeback, Zach. Because I feel like for a lot of that game, you played pretty. I'm to be honest. I think you played pretty poorly the first half of that game, and then you played lights out the second half. I think the Focus Blast call, it was a great play. It was the neutral play. Still did a ton of damage and forced out Shifu. May have killed because the thing's not great, especially defensive. And it hit the obvious switch in, which was Treads. So really good play there. Really, I think that was the game changer in my opinion.
Yeah, and I think the takeaway of Ultra from this game should be not to let your mid game be as passive as it was. I think again I'm gonna harp on this again, but I think that the just letting your treads sit there against the Rotom and just eating Shadow Balls was just it seemed really weird. I can understand wanting to keep your Zoroark hidden maybe, but I feel like if you got it in for free and just started firing off moves, or I don't even, does it even get Hyper Voice? I don't think it does.
Doesn't it?
I remember people complaining that it didn't have a good normal move. I could be totally wrong. Oh no, it does. Okay, yeah, I'm wrong. Sorry. Like a Hyper Voice, a Shadow, just something to put some offensive pressure on Zach to make, you know, tough switches in. I think that would have made the end game, because it was a very close game despite that passivity. And I think that if there had been more pressure put on Zach, then he would have been forced to let things go before he needed to. and that would have closed out the game.
Yeah, I agree. Zach, though, well done, man. Really good comeback. It was good to see. Scarf Hydreigon is a classic, and I think Terra just makes it it's such a good Terra choice. With those.
Terra Dragon is a very good choice. The other Terra, I don't think we've seen another Terra from that team, but at the same time, why would we?
Yeah.
Hydreigon is such a good Terra. It's like, yeah, there's. I think the other Terra for that team is Superior.
It's also a really good Terra. It's just until it once. I think next season we're gonna have to jump the points up on it by a ton because it's getting added. So it's getting Terra Blast, pretty sure. So then Terra Blast, that was the one issue it had in the past was set up, and then you couldn't really do anything unless you had it in power. So now we get Terra Blast. So this will be interesting. Really good week, guys. I love the Zelda names too. So good win, and we'll hop on over to our standings page. All right. After 4 weeks, there is, well, ignore this one. Ignore this one. But after 4 weeks, we have one undefeated team. I believe Fuego was undefeated, or was it Eruption undefeated?
Both Eruption and Cut It Out were undefeated, but I guess Eruption technically lost week 5, but both of them lost this week in matches that were played during this week. So
right.
So Requiem is the only current undefeated. So congrats there. Also ahead in the differential by enough of a margin that any win this week will keep them securely in first place.
Yeah, because they don't play. No, unless they play. Well, any win will definitely keep them obviously in first.
But yeah, even if they
they'd have to basically not get destroyed to not.
Well, no, because think about it. Even if they get 6-0'd, that's 4-1 plus minus 11.
But Bloop could push up, and Speak No Evil could push up if they both win.
Okay. Also true. True.
But it's very tough to do that, obviously. I think Requiem's kind of showing she's the top dog here. She's doing great. Mega Arrow is scary. It's the rocks issue. She seems to be having no problems getting it in and out. Not surprised to see it up top. Kind of surprised to see Beedrill up there, but it is a really good mon, and I think in this very offensive heavy meta, just being able to have almost the fastest mon in every game, barring Scarfers, and being able to hit for a ton on those U-turns is kind of proving to be a great choice. Zapdos on the good rain team. Zygarde, the other Requiem one, is busted.
We cannot be surprised by the Zygarde, especially with Terra.
So yeah, I think in the first couple weeks we saw a couple niche things up there for a while, and now we're starting to see some of the more typical mons creep back up. Regidrago with still the 6 kills for the 1 week, keeping it up here. But otherwise, I think it's kind of moving into a very standard. Very standard.
I would agree. I think things are starting to level out a bit in terms of how people are playing and how sort of what is being brought each week.
Yeah.
I definitely think there are some. I think some people have identified patterns in other people that are being exploited more. So it'll be interesting to see how, if and how people adapt.
Yeah.
As we move into the second half of the season.
Indeed, it's been a great season to watch. I'm really enjoying it. I would like to see some of our requests be made.
Yeah, we still haven't gotten a lot of those.
I haven't seen a crab in the game yet. A little upset. Just got a couple more weeks left. Have we seen a Spidops yet?
We have not, although I'm holding out hope for the Spy Ops.
Yeah.
We haven't seen
There's
Crab, we haven't seen Spy Ops, we haven't seen the Tara Vanny on the Sun team either.
that'll be a good one. I don't know if GDP's even brought Ditto one game. I kind of find that surprising.
He did pick it up fairly
Oh,
recently.
okay. So that'll be an
He
interesting
didn't
one.
he didn't have it from the start, but
Yeah, I want to see the Vanny.
yeah,
All right.
it is a fun bring. The
Oh, you made the changes.
I did
Nice.
while we were talking, I went ahead and did that on my other monitor, so
Gotcha.
that should be updated.
Um, obviously, boss also really good logo. By the way, I think it's great. I need to see the Tropius in game. I need to see these random bats stall with the sub harvest citrus berry set. Give someone a nightmare to play against. I'm trying to think of anything else. I know Golduck is obviously for the weather team, so we'll see that when he plays, I'm sure. Oh, Grottle? I need to see this in the game.
Grottle actually got brought.
I did? I just don't remember. Awesome.
It
Love to
did.
see that.
I believe she brought it week 2, and
Well, she won, so.
yeah, no, it did win.
Has she brought the fridge?
I don't think so. I think that's the only thing she hasn't brought
All right, Requiem,
yet.
you know
Is
what? You have your homework. Bring the fridge. I don't know. I'm honest. These teams are looking pretty good. I think the moves people have made have been nice. I think the Ditto is a great bring for GDP the way he plays. He's been relying on Blastoise to just have to haze every week. Bringing the Ditto kind of makes it you can't just auto set up, and you risk getting just reverse swept by the Ditto. So I think this is a smart pickup for him, considering how much pressure he's been putting on Blastoise to cover the setup. But we'll see how that works out.
yeah, the Ditto. I definitely I agree is a very good. It's a very good addition on that team based on who's playing it.
Yeah,
We saw the Altaria
yeah,
week
that's right. We
3.
did.
So I'm excited to see, especially as some people who will inevitably drop out of playoff contention before the season is over. So maybe we'll start seeing some things from those teams that are some lower tier cooking.
Yeah, and guys, try. I know that as you get close to the, we're at the kind of the midpoint here, just under it. I know people may feel like they're out of playoffs. If you don't have to, please don't drop. It makes it easier for us to, recommend you for further seasons when people don't drop. So hopefully we don't have any more. No one's officially out of
No
playoffs
one's
yet.
out yet.
Yeah,
Nope.
even Boss at 0-4 or Green at 0-4 are not out. You could easily make a comeback or a run. A couple teams could falter, so don't give up yet. You guys still all have a shot. And I think with that, we're good for a wrap up here. Kelpo, any last words?
Keep up the good work. Been loving the games. Excited for next week as always, and we'll be here to cover it.
Yep. All right, guys. Catch you next week. Bye.